Okay.
And then I'll check your mic.
How? Oh, because you can hear?
Let me check on Twitch.
Okay. Hello. Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I need to. Okay. Hello. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Um, just type in the chat if you can hear me. Hello. Someone let me know. Um, I think it's good. Okay. Um okay, hi everybody. I oh, okay, thank you. I would love it if you can tell me where you are watching from. Um if you want to, that would be cool. Um yeah, I feel very nervous because I've never done this before, but I'm really excited and thank you everyone who was here. I'm going to drink some water. Um okay, anyway, yay. Hi. Oh, I'm going to show from Brooklyn, New Orleans, Brighton, UK, international superstar. Yay, thank you. Okay. Well, everyone who's here, I think so far knows me. I actually can't assume that because I don't know everyone. But my name is Amelia and I live in central Vermont. Um and I'm doing this workshop because I um I've spent like many years wanting to understand why I um struggle to do things, all kinds of things. So in the last 2-ish years, I decided to start working as a life coach for. Oh, I should say, in case you didn't know this about me, I do share this, but yeah, I was a life coach for people who are on the autism spectrum or have ADHD or just can relate in some way to those experiences. Um, and one very common theme is struggling to work on personal projects. So I want to say that I think a lot of people struggle with that, even if they don't have those diagnoses. That just happens to be my wheelhouse. But I believe truly that everything that I um, work, like research and work on with clients and have implemented in my own life could be beneficial to just about anyone. Um, so yeah, that's why I chose this topic of energy before as a kind of foundation to solving a little bit of the mystery of why it might be hard to do things. I see that like a few more people have joined, so I'm just gonna say hi again. I was just giving a little background info about myself and why I'm doing this, but if you want to say hi in the chat and tell me where you're from, that would be really cool. Um, yeah, and so I was just saying, I just gotta say, like, I think I will get a little more comfortable, like, talking as the time progresses, but currently I'm feeling super like, oh my god. And it's just interesting, but again, like I said, it's just because this is new for me. But thank you for friendly comments of encouragement. I don't know also if you can see. Yeah, thank you. Marius drew that background decoration for me. Um, thanks. So, yeah. Oh, hi, Philip from Slovakia, but in Spain. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Um, yay. Okay, so what I was saying is that in my work as a coach who primarily works with people, hi Simone in New Orleans, who are experience being neurodivergent in some form. Everything that I found it applies or is like maybe a very necessary coping skill or strategy can like very much benefit someone who may not necessarily identify with those diagnostic labels. So yeah, um I'm gonna look at my notes because one part of why I'm distracted is because I have like looking at two different screens. So I'm gonna oh, that's much better. Okay, just I'm making like two windows so that I can see. And I did try to like practice this a little bit, but yeah, I kind of just like decided to wing it in a way. Well, not completely. I have some notes, so as far as how I'm setting up the screen, so just give me 1 second and then I will not begin to read the text. I just need to see what yeah, so I gave you some background about me, why I'm doing this. I think I was talking about like the main point focus of this is going to be like becoming aware of your energy levels in the first place and why would you want to do that. I personally experienced this a lot, and it was mirrored by like other clients I was working with. um, oh, thank you. It's Archangel Michael. Anyway, yeah, I oh my gosh. Huh. Sorry. Well, sorry, not sorry. I knocked over the audio interface. So can you still hear me, everybody? I just want to make sure that did not cause an audio problem. I think we're still good. Okay. I was saying oh my gosh. On energy levels. Why would you why would you want to know? Um okay, yes. Basically I wonder actually else like has anyone else experienced this? You're like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to work on this and then you don't do it at all and you feel very bad about why it didn't happen and you also have no idea why and you usually just might resort to like thinking that you're lazy and stupid, which is just like shorthand for a million different possible factors, including you didn't have enough energy and your guess, like your choice to do something, was not informed by the reality of your situation and the time that you chose to do it at. Um, so what I will describe the process to do this, but the reason why you would want to find a way to get a more like realistic sense of that is so that you can then know like, yeah, I wish I could do like decide that tomorrow I'm gonna like work on my project all day long or when I get home from work. But when you realize that the reality is that that actually isn't a conducive time because you don't feel very good at that time, you can consciously choose to not work on it then and avoid like the letdown. Let me flip that and put it in positive terms. When you start to develop a sense of the times that would be conducive to you, then you might have overlooked it in the past, but you can know like, oh, this would be a good time for me. Certain factors are in place that will allow me to be successful possibly. Um, so I'm going to choose to do it at this time. Now, I said possibly because this process implies a lot of guessing and hypothesizing, especially at the start. It's a process of like self exploration and data collection. Um, and I keep mentioning the process, so I will describe it and then just share a little bit more about how it would work in practical application. But let me just pause to check these comments. Yes, it feels like I lack awareness in that area. Yeah, especially if you like have ADHD or autistic and um for example, you struggle to identify your own emotions or with interoception, like just your own physical sensations, you have a hard time identifying what they are. This doesn't, that's why you might constantly be like, okay, I'm never like doing the thing I want to do at the time I set out to do it, or it's very rare. And you don't know, and there's a disconnect between like, well, why is that happening? So yeah, like I just want to acknowledge that, and then, not doing the tasks I want makes me feel like I'm babying myself and, like, I don't have enough discipline. Yeah, it's very, like, frustrating and emotionally painful to, like, time and time again run up against this wall of, like, okay, I wanna, like, do this stuff, and then I just don't do it, and, yeah, I wanted to, like, talk about this topic because I think because I was someone who was every day feeling like, yeah, I'm just a big baby that doesn't have enough discipline. Exactly. Um, and like, I guess I don't want to do this, except for I was like, no, but I really do. And it's like tearing me apart that I'm not doing the stuff. Um, so yeah, thank you for sharing. And there's more to it. So the hmm. I just one yeah, I have discipline with a lot of things and only certain things cannot. Yeah, that is it's not always there might be like certain areas where it's you have figured it out and you're doing pretty well and then others, for example, creative work. I mentioned this before. This you can apply this to other things. I'm keeping it like general, and I wanted to highlight the theme of it being like for personal projects, but personal projects can be like um, eh, tasks, like reorganizing your room or something. You could fit it into that category. So the thing that this arose from like working with one-on-one clients who had ADHD and basically similarly felt like I guess that I'm lazy or I'm just not doing things and I'm just generally feeling really scattered. I also like continue to experience that but to a lesser degree um as I uh have like been striving to inform my schedule and like things I choose to do with this information. So the thing that I started to like propose, there's different ways that you could go about this actually. So I'm going to describe some of the ways I've talked about it or talked like said okay this is your assignment for like the process um and one way has been um the goal is to like check in with yourself at a regular point throughout the day um every day and you can do this for like 1 week or 2 weeks or like have this idea in your mind as something that you start to do regularly. And what I mean by check in with yourself is like pause and evaluate how you're feeling and how much energy you have or don't have. I like to put it in like very simple, like the most minimum effort possible to go through this process for somebody. Um, so one of the ways that has looked is like set an alarm for a time. I'll usually do this while I'm talking to someone, where I have done this, like just pick like lunchtime or like before bedtime. Just choose a time that you're not extremely busy to set an alarm to note like notice and then log it. The simplest way I've like thought of to log it is to have a note in your phone and just scale of 1 to 10, assign a numerical value to like how much energy you feel you have at that point, and that's all. And then if you want to do more, you could also log like in a notebook, right? The day, the time, and you can, yeah. I'm trying to explain this in the simplest version first, and then I will talk about some of the ways you could like modify it if you want to. But the reason for keeping it as like minimal and extremely simple as possible is so that it's not like yet another like task and thing that you have to like make yourself do. Um so yeah, so choose a time to set an alarm for every day of the week. At that time, notice. You also, not everyone needs the alarm. For some, just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start like picking when I sit down to eat or at this time of the day, internally, like checking what's my energy level. Um, the alarm can come in handy for someone, for example, who struggles with introspection or just like has a lot of things going on and needs like an external reminder. Um, and or like placeholder for alarm can just be like recurring activity that you do every day. And then after a week or 10 days, oh yeah, and then logging it. And yeah, you can just have started to establish the habit of checking and then also knowing like maybe starting to observe trends of like or thinking about what happened in your day so far that led you to be at that level, whether it's higher or lower. Um, but again, just starting to like use your brain in that way of like looking for that information in the first place. Um, looking farther than like I'm lazy or I'm just a procrastinator that never does stuff, because you start to get a better sense of like why possibly. And okay, so some other ways you could do that or things you could add on is, besides assigning 1 through 10, is um writing like just some other things that you did. If you feel like there's a connection, talk to a friend, saw a friend, like um yeah, sometimes I struggle with the idea of an alarm because it feels like I'm applying strict rules. Yeah, yeah, I'm also very like uh I have like a visceral reaction to a certain type of like lists and things. It just feels like, yeah, exactly, like strict or imposing. So what I'm um so in that case, yeah, you don't necessarily oh, let's see. Hold on. I'm like, oh, I just saw 3 questions. Now I want to answer all of them at once, one at a time. Uh, yeah, so you don't necessarily have to set an alarm. That's one option. Another is to like decide if there is. I also don't want to assume that there is one thing that you do every single day. I know for periods in my life, like every single day is completely different, and I don't have, like, any continuity with anything. And I've also, like, that's not the case now, although there is variability, and, like, one part of it is, like, I've learned to be okay with that, and another part of it is, like, um, yeah, sometimes I get a good, like, streak with a routine, sometimes I divert, and that's okay, and then I can get back to it, but, it's yeah, I just recently, like, I said that to someone, like, "One thing you do every single day," and they were like, "I don't do anything the same," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's okay, I've been there." But, if it's even, like, brushing your teeth or eating, that one at least, I think mostly, but even yeah, I can't assume, um, when you wake up, if you can think of a time, pair it to an activity, your general, like, something. Another thing is, like, being worried that you're gonna not be able to do this or miss it. Beside the logistical implementation of, like, am I gonna use an alarm or when am I gonna do it? Um, I think the, like, underlying driving factor is, like, I wanna know, like, I wanna figure this out and help myself, so that is, like, going to help you find a way to be able to check on this. And also another thing about alarm is it's not, like, forever or whatever way you do it. It might feel like I'm gonna need to put in some extra effort for this period of time to build this, like, habit or do this, like, data collection process. So I hope that answers that. And then okay, so then I was gonna say, like, you can also journal about it a little more if you have an existing journaling practice. If you're gonna do it on paper, I like to, oh, someone just joined. Hello, DJ. I'm uh I'm right in the middle, but I'll recap this thing that I'm explaining, which is the method for, like, tracking throughout the day to build a sense of, like, what your energy levels are like day to day. Anyone who wants to, you absolutely don't have to, but feel free to, like, type in the chat if you want to, like, take a note for yourself or share. But I'll recap. Um, so what I'm talking about right now is, like, modifications to this basic idea of, like, setting an alarm to notice and then logging, tracking what your energy level is on a scale of 1 to 10 or, like, medium, high, low. It's up to you. It's very, like, customizable. Um, and then from there, you could, like I was saying, if you have a journaling practice, write a few more sentences, or if you're going to do it on a paper, draw a little symbol that represents it. Oh, I wish I could. I didn't even think of this, but I could show, like, a page of what it looks like for me. Um, but I don't have it here, so I'd have to run away and go get it. I think I could do that a little later, because I don't wanna just run away, but, uh, yeah. So, other question, is it enough to check once a day only? You can do it more times if you want to. I, again, like, describe it as the bare minimum to make it, like, low barrier of entry for someone who might be overwhelmed by, like, adding something new. Um, if you wanted to do it more, you could, but once is, like, at least you start to build that habit of noticing and checking. Um, and yeah, I can show it a little later. Thank you. Um, so what kind of, like, result can happen from starting to track this? Is, like, one, maybe noticing if there are certain things that have happened in a day that are particularly draining, um, starting to get a sense of what those types of events or activities are, and then on the other side, like, things that really give you a boost. that you may not have been like knowing helped so much, or excuse me. Yeah, get starting to like be able to make a connection between things that add or detract. So I'm just gonna like, oh yeah, okay. I'm looking at my notes to see if I didn't miss anything, or yeah, so you could do this like actively for a week or two, or just start kind of like generally practicing this, like being on the lookout, pausing to check. Um, you could continue it if you feel like you want to, or if you feel like now you have a little more awareness. Um, so the next thing you can do is presumably like after this like initial like phase of like collecting data, um you could, you might also already know what some of these things are, um but write down what helped, like on what added or elevated your level, like if you made a note on a day of something happening. um I also want to say, like, if you're somebody that has uh a special interest, um it can be very restful and like replenishing to just engage with it. That could look really different, because I know that your special interest might be like a hobby or something that you do. I'll give an example. Like, I actually haven't done this one in a while, but I remember that the last time I did it, I was actually feeling, I did it, I like engaged with this interest at a time that I was very exhausted. It was like a work night or a Friday night after just like a really long week. But I was researching bugs, insects, and I was like, I yeah, I'm so happy just remembering that time, because um it was just really, really fun. I think the kind of bugs I was researching, yeah, leaf hoppers is one bigger family. And yeah, just looking at pictures of them, reading about them and where they live and the different ones was extremely replenishing to me. There are other things, but I just wanted to like highlight, if you know there's like some topic, interest area like that you can just research, or just engage with, look at a book about it, that can be a nice thing that boosts you. And so on that note of like, okay, you can maybe, as you've been observing yourself, noticing what has added or taken away from your energy, um, you can also just kind of recall um, what sort of things you notice help you like feel energized. And I like to put this list, like I have this list in my phone, I have different documents with this list. Full disclosure, sometimes I do not remember to look at the list, but but when I do, I'm really glad that I have it. And also just, I don't always need to refer to the list, because I am like, okay, well now I know some of the things. It's just that some of the things are not always obvious. And another thing is like, if you're feeling super low energy or even burnt out, it might be really challenging or not possible to even think of what things you can do to move out of that state. So that's why it can be really handy to have a list in your phone, on a paper, on the wall, um, anywhere that you could put a list, even if you want to draw like icons that represent these activities for energy. So, for example, because that might be a little vague, like, oh, cool. I'm listing my interests now because I forget that I have so many. That could be even like make a list of those interests because then you can that can be one option, like engage with one of these interests, look it up, or just spend time looking at pictures of my thing, whatever it is. Um, yeah. So these things, like, and I didn't think of what to call them. Things that boost your energy. You can do. Uh, oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe I can get too distracted by what I'm interested in as an escape from the task, but maybe a timer would be useful for that. For like how long you're gonna research it for. Yeah, or I even mean this as like I'm getting there about well, I'll just get there, but I'll answer this first. Like, um, yeah. I I'm having the thing where like I I don't know if anyone can relate to this. You have like 3 to 7 thoughts at the same time, and you cannot speak them all at the same time, and then it's hard to pick which one to start saying. Thank you, DJ. Energy boosters. Yeah, we can call this list energy boosters, or you can call it whatever. Things that boost your energy. So Bone, Hilda the maid. I think this is Alice. Yeah, what I'm wanting to say is like some of these energy boosters on the list are going to be things that you can do to like boost your energy before doing, like, for instance, working on your project. So it could be things like going for a short walk, like around the block or like out to the backyard and back, if that is something you've observed like helps you feel more energetic. um or putting on some upbeat music, or having this one is a little it's complicated because I was gonna say like um dance workout videos. Yeah, dancing. um the things I can say some random things that might be applied to you, but kind of like again, it's a combination of making guesses, taking the information you got from your like time of observing, and things you already know work, or just trying things. Um, but you can do them to boost your energy if you're feeling low. Like, I don't have a bike right now, but I used to. I'm just sad because I missed that, but I will have one again. But before sitting down to what are some of the things you do, Amelia? Yeah, I will tell you. I was just gonna say before sitting down to work on like writing stuff or like business work, uh, I go. I used to go on a bike ride, like a 30 or 40-minute bike ride. I actually, um, yeah, just having a moment of silence for my bike rides. They will come back, but moving. I moved, so things have changed. But that helped me a lot. But had to come up with others. So yeah, I might what I was starting to say, and then I was gonna say like it gets a little complicated, is that having a clean or relatively organized environment can be energizing and helpful. However, I want to recognize that getting a clean and organized environment is a whole nother task, which is also a task that you might need to like generate some energy to be able to do. So it is tangential, but I feel it's related. So I'm just gonna talk about it really quick. I think I even mentioned this because I was like, okay, well, I wrote in my notes. I mean, mm, mm, mm. Okay, so um sorry, not sorry. I'm um Okay. I'm having like two windows open and like one eye is reading each thing and yeah, anyway, cleaning is like a dirty word for people. Yeah, thank you for that. So one thing I was gonna say about like doing like a little tidying or something. Yeah, cleaning is fun, especially for a short time. It can be. Okay, what I was gonna say is like I've had times where I need to have like have a certain level of order in order to order in order organization in order to yeah, we can also think about energy levels as inspiration levels, right? Yeah, like if you're low energy, you might also like not be feeling inspired at all either. Or it's like, let me go do something that replenishes or boosts me in order to experience like some inspiration from that. Yeah. What I was gonna say about tidying or cleaning is like yeah, like how much we're inspired or motivated to do something. Yeah. Absolutely. I think those things are all related and also maybe even interchangeable. Very much so. Um okay, let me catch my train of thought again. Um oh yes, okay. Cleaning, tidying in order to do a task. This can happens to me, might happen to someone else. Uh, okay, I'm gonna just clean up a little so I can do my task, except that in my mind, I get stuck on like, well, I need to finish it completely. And then I'm exhausted because I completely focused on that and then I didn't do the task. So I've been learning to like pause, just do a little bit, to like get moving, like break the inertia of like, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything. I want to do my thing, but I'm not doing anything. And then, okay, I'm just gonna do this for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna to get me moving to prepare my space, and then I'm gonna get to my task. I like this. I like the idea of standing outside to boost my energy. Yeah, even just standing outside can be really good. I like that too. And then you can be like, okay, I'm gonna go stand outside, like take some deep breaths, walk around a little, or just be outside, and I'm preparing myself to go do the thing. You're already yeah, another thing is like inertia, like can go both ways, like being static and stuck and like not moving, or like deciding to do something like easier with like a again, I use this like lower barrier of entry, like, okay, I just need to like stand up, open the door, stand outside. Already starting to get some like movement and motion that I can transfer to coming back inside and starting to work on something now that I am feeling a little more energized. Um, and another thing is like when you have developed more of a sense of like maybe generally what your energy levels are like or are used to like checking in more frequently um, when you feel lower, you have options of like referring to your list or doing some things to boost yourself or being like, oh, I'm feeling pretty low energy. I'm just not gonna expect myself to do certain things right now. Like, um, make an amazing portrait of somebody or like write a lot or um, do a bunch of tasks. You'll realistically be like, I'm just gonna take it easy or do something very simple or do something to boost myself a little bit. And specifically with like, I guess I will say this about like visual art, but I think it could be, and you could apply it to other things. Um, I've talked about this before, like when I did this, I like streamed, I was like drawing, but like body doubling for anyone who wanted to work on drawing or other art stuff at the same time with another person there. By the way, I think I'm gonna start doing that again because it was fun and I've heard from a few people that they would like that. So, um yes. side note. Anyway, I was remember once I was talking there because I was like, yeah, I do want to work on stuff, but I'm feeling like not inspired or like excited. I just know that I want to. So I had some really simple like doodle that I made with my left hand, and I was just coloring it with cool colors and not having like any expectation about what it's gonna be. I'm I didn't like yeah, I'm not thinking of any example of something else right now. If you have a different like art practice or project type of thing, but the concept is like something um oh cool. Thank you for who's letting me know that you would like to do art time body doubling. I will make a note of that, and I'm definitely gonna I'll ask a little more for a little more info about like when would be a good time for you. Um what I was saying is oh yeah, something very like you get to like engage with your activity that you want to do, but in a easier. Another option is like preparing, setting up your materials or supplies for like the next time you can have it already laid out for you to work on. Um, so it's like, oh, I don't feel like I'm actually gonna be able to like do my craft or work on my project, but I am gonna like set up all my supplies and materials so that next time they're already there for me. And this is like using whatever like amount of energy that I do have to do a little bit of something related that still helps me and like contributes towards me being able to do that more easily next time. And that ties into just generally things that are easier and like low, don't need as much setup to do. Sometimes this kind of applies to both like, yeah, like think energy boosters. Some of them might be a little bit like resource intensive or like require you to set up things, but some of them are just easy. Like someone gave the example of like just stand outside. Um, so that's another thing to like keep in mind. And yeah, I guess the point here is like if you don't, you could like at one time just set a little bit of your materials up and then come back to it later. Or if possible, keep some things out all the time or often so it's ready to go for you. Um yeah, actually like I used to have a lot of my supplies in these drawers and I couldn't see them and I actually didn't I would use them but not but now I have everything like out on a flat surface and it's I can always see it and I always have like paper out so it's actually easier for me to go like I can see it and then I can remember that I do want to go and work on it. Um So, okay, I am jumping around a little because this will be different in the future. I will maybe I just wrote out like all the different things I wanted to talk about and I've been kind of looking at it and then kind of just thinking about it or responding to your answers. There's a bunch of stuff I've missed because it's I didn't organize it a lot. So, next time I will make it easier for myself to like read these chunks of things and then also maybe share. Oh, my flat surface is so small. I was losing my nice pens. Yeah, you might not be able to like have everything out all the time, but maybe like, oh, I'm pretty tired tonight. All I'm gonna do is spend 10 minutes laying them out, clearing the surface. Tomorrow morning, I can work on it. And then high expectations and comparisons always bring my energy. Yeah, I agree. And having that observation, I mean, sometimes those are externally imposed, but the ones that we are in control of are our own. And yes, we can, having that, like, made that observation, decide to, like, make an effort to keep those in check. For example, comparisons. Yeah, like, well, I don't know what that person who like is doing X, Y, or Z has like going on for them that I currently don't. Or like, yeah, but I'm also, well, Philip, I know that you live on a sailboat, so I can just say that like you have a lot of other responsibilities and duties and things that you're paying attention to at any given time where your resources or your energy is devoted to. Um, but yeah, as far like I sometimes have very literally thought like, oh, I'm gonna if I'm sitting down to draw, it means I need to like sit down and like create one filled paper with that like finished or just like I'm gonna make just like I don't know. I see the finished idea in my mind, so it can be very disappointing to not complete it in one sitting or session. Um, but then just realistically being like, I don't know, this could take me a long time. I'm just gonna work on it a little tiny bit for now. Um, yeah, I I'm just trying to review, like, see if I didn't miss something else that I wanted to share. Um, mm, yeah, I will. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is recap a little bit the things I already said. If anybody wants to like ask any specific questions or bring anything else up or like anything I should clarify, we can do that. Um, there's a whole like section that I didn't really get to, but I'm conscious of time and then also realizing like, okay, I wrote these things out together on my notes, but they're it's kind of a just require deserves its own like presentation amount of time. So, um, yeah, so I uh yeah, oh my gosh. Okay. Now I'm like, oh, I just scrolled to another section that I didn't talk about, but that's okay. Um yeah, I mean, I will just say this is very much like a test drive for me of like what it's like to do this. So yeah, I'm just glad. Thank you to everyone who's still here and been here this whole time. So to go back over what I've talked about so far, um, also thank you for chiming in. Oh, I'm just seeing a big comment that I didn't answer. Let me. I think that would be a way of making shutdown mode, altered state of low energy into something more meaningful. Because if you think about it, it's like dissociation. So the seeing myself from an outside perspective, depersonalized feeling of can't do anything, but you can draw it. Um, oh, okay. You're like even drawing something that happened that day and writing a little note about what it was like a comic, but it doesn't have to look good or anything. Are you sharing that as a like method for tracking your that's really good because it's a method for tracking and then also a way to get yourself to draw and like yeah, you talked about lower the expectation, like it doesn't even have to look good. It can just be a scribble or a doodle way to make your low energy state more meaningful, like make a little drawing. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Thank you. Um so yeah, I haven't done that before and I don't know if I would, but it sounds nice. Yeah, let me know if you do. I might do that. I like that idea a lot. Just I'm gonna drink some water. Okay. Uh I wish that it's okay. I wish that I organized my notes more because I'm getting confused just looking at them. But what did we talk about? What did I talk about to you? And thank you again, yes, for engaging with me. It feels a little weird to just know that you're there, but I'm just talking. But anyway, yeah, keeping track. One option is to set an alarm. Another option is to pick a time or activity that you do every day, to build the practice of n- asking yourself how you're feeling, what level is your energy at, what things contributed to a positive state or set you back. Starting to get more acquainted with what those things are, or what times after what activities you are feeling lower or boosted. And yeah, I wish we could interact more too. I think that in the future I will look into doing this on like Zoom where other people where people can we can talk more. I would love that. I'll be yeah, stay tuned because I'll be figuring out how to make this better in the future because I have a lot of topics I want to talk about. I also want to get better at doing this. Um, so yeah. Um, what should we do if we notice something makes us have a draining effect? Yeah. Well, if it's optional, then stop doing it. Yeah. So I mean, what if it's like your job? There's different ways you can approach that. Like ca- finding the low like buffer things that help you feel better or help you like navigate being in a state of low energy. That is kind of crossing over into like was it crossing over, it's just all related, like having like easy foods to make. That's I could talk about that all day or at least for an hour, just food easiness. But yeah, if you notice something that has a draining is draining to you and you can stop doing it, if you can opt out of it, that's amazing and you should, and you uh deserve to not have to do it if possible. Like even talking to a certain person, controversial opinion, but even that's not the best example, like activity. But if you can't, yeah, you can prioritize like restoration and rest after that after whatever that is. Interesting. There's things I do like check Tumblr right when I get to the computer that ground me and make me feel like I have energy, but like it stagnates me working on other things. Yeah, so like I can relate to that one kind of. I mean, like, oh, I'm watching TikToks. It's so much fun. And then it's like, oh, now I'm not doing anything else at all. So that is about what no, that's not what I mean. Not that is about. Just like well, you're noticing that point and then like continuing to build the skill of like noticing and checking. You can be like, for example, I ask myself like, is this still fun? Am I still having fun? Um, and then it's like, no, okay, I can actually stop. Or if I'm like, yeah, I am having fun. I want to just keep doing this, whatever, going on TikTok or Tumblr. Then I do. But no, I'm not having fun. I need to step away, like do something to res reset or just stop doing that. And now it's time for me to work on my other thing. And that again, it's like easier said than done, but it's also something that it's like a muscle you start to build as you if you're like here and you're interested in this and wondering about this for yourself, I think it's like, okay, that's because you have what it takes to like um ma- like think about your own thinking, like talk to your own brain and find solutions. Um you have that capacity. Um, so yeah, even what I just said, like think about your thinking or talk to your brain. Those are some like in a kind way is the other thing, like in a curious way, not yeah. I mean, I know because I've spent way more time being like, oh my God, you're so stupid. Why are you doing this? And then it makes me want to like shut down and not and just keep doing the thing like mirthfully, like destructively. So being like, I wonder why I'm doing this. Is this still fun for me? Like, what am I hoping to get out of this? Just being curious, same way you're being curious about like what what is making you feel tired or not motivated, or what kinds of things is it that makes you feel better. Okay, I know that they are always personal, but could you share? Yes, I could share. Yeah. So I actually did this today. I did some different ones. Jump roping, even just for like 30 seconds sometimes. I like to practice qigong. I feel like I didn't pronounce that right. I hear different people pronouncing it different ways, but yes, that's one. Oh, I brought this to like boost my morale. No, that's just to like I don't know how well you can see it. It's a small pig made out of polymer clay. Just making doing little clay sculptures. It's easy and I can do it quickly and it boosts me. Walking outside, going outside, being outside, like opening the window, sticking my head out the window, going outside, touching a tree, um, riding my bicycle when I could do that, exercising can, um, doing just like a quick scribble or another thing is I wanted to talk about this more. I'm also probably just gonna go for like another maybe like 10 minutes or so. Um oh yeah, I didn't I'll talk about this more in the future, I think. Like I wanted to talk about like working memory and like that being like at max capacity and like emotions as a thing that like unprocessed emotions as a like reason to as a cause of like distraction, source of like energy drainage and procrastination and like depletion of inspiration. So one of the things I do is like before I'm gonna sit down to work on something, like write, brain dump, whatever, like computer's gonna die. I didn't have it plugged in. Yeah, so that's one. Yeah, I'm not gonna like fully get into that topic now, but I would like to in the future. But just to say, one of the like energy boosters for me is like writing all my like crappy, shitty thoughts, and then yeah. Oh, thank you. Bye. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm gonna be like wrapping up, but thank you for joining us here. Okay. Yeah, so those are some of and I feel like there's a bunch more that I could not think of right now. Um, but those are some of them. Talking to like a friend, just being like, "Hey, just want to talk a little bit." That is nice. Getting a hug from somebody I love. Um, Eating something like crunchy or yummy or like a little drink, like a little mineral water, sparkling water. um Rolling around, stretching, just moving. Yeah, those are some of them. I also like sometimes I got taking 10 sips of 10 different seltzers. Yeah. Those are some of them. So yeah, I'm gonna check another. Oh, that's a good question to ask yourself. I struggle to stop watching short videos. Yeah, am I still having fun? And then I feel like I don't have other options, and that's a huge part of it because I've been doing those things for like a decade. So it's about showing myself I can do other things and supplement it still with like checking or watching videos, but be more balanced about it. Yeah, I mean that's huge what you just said. I've been doing those things for a decade. Like, yeah, same here. And that connection is like strongly established. Whereas these other like new things to try aren't, so it's not familiar. It's not a default like pathway for brain to go to. So it takes beginning to do it more often, and then also like what is the reason? Why do you want to do it? Because you have to, and someone's making you know, because you genuinely are like looking to explore different ways of operating in your life. Yeah, and then I see it makes me want to lock my phone away forever because I get annoyed with myself. Yeah, I can fully 100% relate to that. And I mean, you can lock it away for a temporary amount of time if that helps you. Sometimes I used to like put it in the car and then lock the car and then go inside. Or just sometimes I don't though, but part of it is like mm, making a stronger connection with like I have different things I want to be doing. I'm trying different things out, or like I don't know. I am like struggling to articulate that now, but yes. Um yeah, I was just gonna like finish like recapping like the method and then wrap it up. But what I was uh yeah, just I don't remember like where I left off because I know that I started to do that and then interrupted myself. So I'll just say if anyone does anyone have like a question or something they would like me to go over or re-explain, I would be happy to do that. Um or any thoughts, things you want to share at all for the last like 5-ish minutes that I'll be here. Feel free to chime in. Um, um, yeah, I'm just feeling very aware of like, oh, the many like angles that I didn't touch on, but it's really okay. I'm glad to have like done this at all. It was a big challenge for me to like get to the point where I was like, okay, yes, I'm gonna actually do this. But it was fun. Yeah, I definitely would like to have it be more interactive next time. Um Inspired and opened up my thinking about it. Yeah, I feel like at best that's what I could hope for is like you can start thinking in this way, like look for information in your own life. um and what I wanted to share is like this option that you have to collect like evaluate what adds or takes away, and that might lead you in a to think of something else you can do. um yeah, you're welcome to like message me about it. um I let's see if there's anything like final. um yeah, I guess one thing I want to say is like if you try something and it doesn't like work, that's really okay. If you think about it, you've already been like failing a lot in the sense that you're like had a goal or thing you want to do and it's not happening and you're not doing so. But if you try like a new strategy and it doesn't work, all that means is like that didn't work. I'm going to try something else. uh I'm going to keep looking for things that help me feel more energized or noticing things that feel draining and like modify my reaction to those things in my life as much as possible, and keep being like curious, I guess. This is like, yeah, another topic for another day, but this fits into that idea, which is something I feel strongly about, like developing self expertise, becoming the expert of yourself is why you need to like start to know what all these little things like what makes you tick, kind of. What help what Yeah, because no one else can really prescribe that to you. There are general things like, yeah, you need to eat food, drink water, sleep, but not even like 8 hours might be different for you. Yeah. Oh, oops. Sleep and energy. That's a huge thing I didn't talk about at all. But um, yeah. I mean, sleeping, taking a nap, or just noticing like, oh, I haven't been sleeping very much, and I'm not doing anything. So yeah. Um. Okay. I think that this is this is a good place to stop. Um, yeah, thank you again, everyone who was here. And yeah, I guess I'll end on this note of like, I'm gonna plug my services just because I'm here. So if you are interested or you know anybody who like specifically would like wish they had somebody to basically like meet with them every week and talk about what some of those things are that are could be helpful or not, or talk more in depth about like this idea of becoming your own expert, understanding yourself, and like also maybe uh support like accomplishing a very specific goal or working on something, share, let them know, because this is what I do during my day is work with people one at a time. But I am really excited to like offer something for free for everyone, for anyone who's interested, accessible, and this is really helpful for me. um so um yeah, I think that this was a good start. And thanks again, everyone who came. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I don't like that expression. I started saying it, but I don't like it. Be on the lookout. Um, because I will do it again and I will work on it. Yeah, any constructive criticism, feedback is appreciated. Today I was like, I'm gonna watch a bunch of like seminar workshops to see how they did it, and I didn't do that. So as you can see. But yeah, it's challenging for me to know like, okay, I don't need to, I can just stop. But I'm also like, oh, thank you everyone in the comments. It was fun to hang out with you. So yeah, we will meet again. Thank you again, and good night. Bye.